Good morning, hello, hi, whatever time of the day it is by you. Okay, I am still in my jammies, but I wanted to show you something because it proves that you don't always have to throw something away. Okay, hang on, I'll explain myself. I had one of these sachets of little cube things of yeast, quick yeast. A friend had it for a while and kept it vacuum sealed, gave it to me. I kept it in the freezer when I opened it. I kept it in the freezer because that's the best way to keep the yeast, to keep it going so it doesn't go over so quickly. One day I used it and it didn't activate so well. I put it in a jug with the usual bit of water, touch of sugar, mixed it in. As always, it didn't activate very well. I thought, okay, maybe it just needs a bit more time. Added in a bit of sugar, added it to the bread, and it didn't work. So I thought, okay, maybe it's done. So I thought, I'll check it out. I left it on the counter for, wow, got to be about 2 weeks, intending to put it in the food waste before chucking it out. When I picked it up yesterday, I thought, hang on a second. Is it or isn't it? I hate throwing away stuff, especially food. Can I throw it away? Do I need to? So I put it in the little ramekin with just enough water to cover it, to make it a little bit liquid, and I left it. By the end of the day, it was right up to the top of this little ramekin. By this morning, I thought, okay, I'll stir it down. I'll put in just a half a teaspoon of unrefined sugar and a quarter teaspoon of plain flour, mixed it in. This is half an hour later. I was thinking of putting it in a jar and seeing if I can keep it going. But this is so active, I think it's a bit of a beast that'll need feeding like daily. I don't have that kind of time. I do have time, but I prefer spending it on huge amounts of other things as well, not just feeding a yeast starter. So I think I'd better just use this. Okay, it's just been sitting on the counter for a while. It was open, so it wasn't even protected or anything. Oh, it still smells very yeasty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it in a loaf of bread and see if it works. So who knows why that one didn't. And in future, I will not chuck stuff out. I will make use of it or check that it's still usable before I chuck it out, just because I was afraid that it wouldn't work and it would be a waste if the flour didn't work or blah 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 blah. So this is a mixture of strong plain and wholemeal flours that I've mixed together. So roughly, I don't measure, I don't take a spoon and flatten it out. Five cups. About a teaspoon of unrefined sugar. About a teaspoon of salt. Oh, look at it, it's still expanding. And this has not used warm water, and it has actually used tap water. Chlorine is supposed to kill yeast, but there you go. Oh, look at that. So I've put the yeast in this jug with a teeny bit of water. Now I'm topping it up with slightly warm water to at least 500 mils. That's half a litre or 16 ounces. Just under a pint. I don't need to activate it. It's been activated already since yesterday, and it's already starting to bubble. So let's just add that in. Oh, it smells good. That smell. I know everybody's saying, oh, you've got to use sourdough, it's healthier. Yes, it is. But there's nothing like the smell of activated yeast for bread. Oh, such a lovely, oh, I can't describe it. It's a comforting smell when you're making bread. Almost like a promise of, you know what's coming out the other side. The staff of life bread. Even though in the real sense the staff of life in ancient times was not made with yeast as in the yeast we use today, but was fermented. Leaven, like my leaven in the fridge, that I only really use once a week and only feed as I'm making it in a loaf. I tear a piece of the dough off before I knead it. Simple, simple, simple. Really easy. Right. And yes, this is slightly sticky. However, maybe just a touch more. So that's about almost 550 to 600 ml of water, because this is how I like it to be before I rest it. I'm not going to knead it, obviously. I'm going to leave it to rest, and then once it's rested, I will give it a stretching and a pulling and a slight knead, because I like the flour to completely hydrate before I knead it. Here I am more than 7 hours later. Went out, came back, and it was right the way up here. So it was well risen, full of bubbles, so perfectly fine. All I did was I scraped the sides and folded it in with the spoon. I clean forgot to film it, but it's okay, you get the gist. And I just fold it over the spoon. Now I'll put a little bit of flour on the worktop and give it a, I mean, it's already nice and elastic. You can see that it's bouncy and stretchy, so it doesn't need much kneading at all. Right, let's get that done. I've got the tin ready with some baking paper. It just makes for an easier clean and getting the bread out the tin, because I've got non-stick and I don't trust non-stick. It's not good. Right. There we go. So elastic that it comes out almost cleanly. Let's get the oil out ready. Sleeves up. Don't need that just yet. Just fold it, pull and fold, pull and fold. Because I'm literally I'm doing just what I do with my sourdough, same thing. And basically, this has been practically fermenting all day. All right, just going to stretch it and fold it until it's nice and firm. And then I'll put it in the bread dough, in the bread tin. That's all I do. I mean, I love kneading bread. I love kneading, but I don't want that. I want bubbles, lots of bubbles. And I don't want to put too much flour on, because I don't want it to get too heavy. And that's all. See, all that fluid we put in earlier today and made it really wet has helped to hydrate all the flour. Right, now I'm just going to shape it ready to go in. That's just to stop it sticking. Literally just rolling it over. Right, that. Shove it in, plonk it, and then I'm going to wait till it's about, I'll wait till it's about that high again before it starts spilling over the sides. And as soon as it's that high, I'll just shove it and moisten it with a pastry brush and a little bit of plant milk and shove it in the oven for about 35-40 minutes. And it should be done by then. So it's kind of halfway between a regular bread and sourdough, just because of the amount of time. Oh yeah, I can taste it. There's a zingy. I started fermenting, so all good. So it's halfway between normal bread and sourdough, just because it was sitting for so long. And it's really good. Actually, you've seen me put it in the oven before. I'm just going to brush it with some plant milk, shove it in the oven at around 200 degrees. Then I'll turn it down slightly, ever so slightly, to about 195. The bread came out before bed. And since then, I mean, look at it. I'd say that's a really lovely loaf. And yeah, well, it's been used. Breakfast and lunch already. So I thought I'd show you before it totally disappears. And obviously the fact that it's being used and enjoyed gives it the thumbs up. So before you ever throw something away that could still be perfectly good, just check it first, test it. Doubt your doubts in some things. Yep, the yeast was still perfectly fine, even though it's been on the counter open for almost 2 weeks and wasn't working so well before. But yeah, we got good bread. I'd say that's a nice one, wouldn't you? Well, there you go, folks. I'm getting supper ready. Leftovers from another day. When you make extra food, you freeze it and give yourself a ready meal for another day. So we're having some leftover chili and rice, zhuzhed up with a little bit more tomato, passata and herbs, and soy sauce, and then a little bit of bread. Be nice too. So, good old-fashioned homemaking, frugal living, leftovers. Don't chuck things away that you shouldn't. Don't waste. I'd call that an abundance meal because it was quick, easy, tasty, filling, and satisfying. Nothing like it. So if you want to be inspired by a few more of these things, don't forget to check out the description box below. Yeah. Right. I'm off to get dinner, and I'll see you in the next video.